Are there any other indications on either one of those frames that would indicate to you that in fact these came from SIG?
The engineers, since these are prototypes, would have the machinists make the part. They would take it back into the lab, and through various techniques, they measure all the different angles of the firearm. They have to fit to it all the internal parts, including the slide and the barrel and so forth. These are all critical parts that have to fit on this frame. They measure, and if they find places that they're not happy with how it measures out, they take a chemical and they mark the frame and resubmit it to the machinist to machine those areas. And this chemical is a telltale on this firearm.
Could you explain what you mean by that?
Yes, this red. This red chemical here, and you can see it here, and you can see it on the inside.
Is there any similar chemical on the other side?
There is on the butt. You can see the remnants of it here. And this is the chemical we use. It's called diphen. And I think,
well, we'll take your word for it.
Very careful to show you. It's very red and it doesn't. And that diphen is spread on the gun, and then it's machined. Well, you can see it was machined, but it didn't go quite deep enough to take all this color out, and still remnants of it in here, and remnants of it here, and the butt of the gun here.
Now, those frames have no signature, have no company stamp, if you will, on the label. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is that very common for this product at this stage?
As long as it's in the process of manufacturing as a prototype, the government allows us to keep the phone numbers until they're done, and they give 7 days at that point to put the serial number.
And neither one of those have serial number.
Neither one has a serial number.
At what point does the serial number go on? When the frame is completed, or when the gun is completed?
When the frame is capable of accepting all the parts in the environment.
So these frames then are not in that position where they can accept all of them.
This one is.
Okay.
And this one is not quite.
Okay.
There's only one hole missing.
Now, is there any circumstance under which the company would sell those items in the state that they're in right now?
Absolutely not.
Why do you say that?
It's a violation of federal law.
So what further steps have to be taken before that can be done?
The firearm would have to be serial numbered. And this is the firearm under federal law.
Now, you say you actually saw those two particular. Are there any other prototypes like those?
There were several of these at the time in the factory.
Okay.
And it was a project that did not go any further.
So neither one of those two prototypes was ever put into production?
Not to my knowledge. My knowledge goes back to when they started doing this was in 1998 to 99 is when they first started playing with these finger rests in the front strap.
Can you show us what you mean by the finger rest?
The finger rest is this piece right here. And I brought a 1911 frame that's not a frame. This is how we get them from our vendor. And it does not have the finger rest, as you can see here. And a critical part that determines whether this is a fire or not is this cut right here. It's called a rail.
And what is the purpose of the rail?
It holds the slide in place. And you can see here on the where we get them from our vendor, the rail is not cut. So this would not be considered a firearm, and this would because of the rail.
I want to show you a photograph. It It's already been introduced there, but have you just take a quick look at that, if you would, please?
Yes.
What is that photograph of?
Photograph of a variety of SIG parts, including this frame and this frame.
You took that photograph?
I took this photograph.
And was that photograph taken after you went through all of the items that were represented to you to be seized by the officers on that day?
It was all the property that was represented to me as being SIG products. I did not really look at the other guns, I saw them there.
But these items you did look at?
These are the items I looked at, yeah.
And were they in fact SIG items?
Yes, they are.
Were there any other items in that photograph that you would consider prototype or not marketable?
Yes, there's other things that clearly came out of the prototype shop.
And when you say the prototype shop,
The area where they work on the prototypes.
what items are you referring to?
We experimented with the process of putting this camouflage coloring on the grips and the slides, and actually we tried it on the frames too, but it's not a bad deal.
Did that ever go into production?
I'm going to say it's not in production now. They may have tried for a short time marketing that. It's not clear to me that when that happened.
Okay. Is there any question in your mind as to those items belonging to SIG?
On this 229 frame, absolutely not. Since the 1911 frames are on wide production throughout the United States by other people, it's my feeling that this is a SIG product. That is one. It shows the processes we use to manufacture, but absolutely positively, the Cliff. This one I would have, I could say it's a possibility it wasn't SIG. The 229 frame, I can't remember the SIG.
I have no further questions.